my last day off. I headed out to run a few errands, but before I get out into the streets, I wanted to show y'all what is seriously going on now. And there won't be any dancing or anything like that because it's this. Just watch.
On a Friday evening, this restaurant behind me would be packed with customers, but today it was forced to shut down after chaos unfolded during an operation by federal authorities. Now, employees I spoke with told me that they detained several workers. Right now, we're working to confirm the exact number. This was the chaotic scene of an operation by Homeland Security investigations as they swept through this restaurant at the corner of Beach and 30th Street. Heavily armed agents can be seen in full tactical gear as cars block the streets off. In this video, you can hear loud booms and sirens as community members surrounded their cars. Pedro Rios with American Friends Service Committee was there and watched as people were taken away in handcuffs.
The agents fired sound grenades, flashbang grenades at the crowd.
Claire Cody works at Buena Forcheta. She had just clocked in for her shift at about 4:30 Friday afternoon when she says several men in trucks went inside saying they had a search warrant. Claire says agents put employees in handcuffs to check their ID.
There was no stopping them. There was like 30 ICE. There was 30 of them. I mean, we were just all in shock. They just came at a time where it was so unexpected.
Before the restaurant opened up for dinner, staff put up this close sign. Claire says employees here are all like a big family and they're heartbroken.
They took people. They took some of our employees.
Immigrants, not hate. That's what makes America great.
Meanwhile, outside the restaurant, the community pushed back.
It was quite clear that there was just a complete rejection by the community of the federal agents of conducting this in their community and neighborhood.
And I did reach out to the Department of Homeland Security to find out more information about this operation, and I'm still waiting to hear back. For now, Ms. Esmeralda Perez.
That took place out in San Diego. Here's a video from somebody who was out there on the ground.
Get inside, get inside, get inside, get inside, get inside. Get inside. Get inside, get inside, get inside. Stay right here, stay right here, stay right here. It's okay, it's okay. Stay right here, stay right here.
You guys said nothing's happening.
It's okay. We're gonna be right.
This is what y'all voted for. This is happening in the middle of American streets. This is what y'all voted for. Here's another video. White America looks down upon this type of activity happening in other countries, in the Middle East, and they like to call those countries third world countries. Now that it's happening here, I've been saying it for years that America is a third world country. When Donald Trump came out and called African countries shithole countries, I said, bitch, America is the shithole country. Now that it's happening here, are your eyes opened that this is a shithole country? That this, America, is a third world country? The trauma that's being inflicted on American citizens, on legal residents all across this nation, y'all voted this into office. This is what's happening in Miami.
Well, many of the immigrants detained today have what's called the I-220A form, which was given to them by border authorities when they crossed into the U.S. NBC6 was there as person after person left Miami's immigration court in tears Thursday. Yanet Correa could not hold back her pain. she screams injustice after her husband was placed on an expedited deportation order after showing up to his immigration check-in in Miami. The detentions are not only creating panic and fear, but Correa's immigration attorney tells NBC6 it's also creating confusion.
When a person enters the U.S. at the border, they decide what law to process you under. And now here in court, they're deciding to process you under a different law.
Immigration court attorney Antonio Ramos tells us this is now the new normal.
What I have been seeing is out of the few people, most of them, they have crimes, previous crimes. And sometimes not even have applied in front of the judge with any application, just an open case. And we have seen just a couple of cases. They have no crime, but the issue was they never filed an application before the judge.
As the detention of immigrants with what's known as the I-220A form continues, Ramos explained what's been happening inside the court.
People get in front of the judge. The DHS offered dismissal of the case. And I have to make a parenthesis because dismissal of the case in the previous administration, people saw it as a good thing because they're not going to be arrested. So a lot of people accept the dismissal. When they accept the dismissal, they withdraw the application in front of the judge. The case is closed in front of the judge. They are literally in a legal limbo, and they can be detained, and that's what's going on.
Julissa Hernandez panicked when she saw that her husband's check-in took longer than expected.
I saw that they were taking a man who was outside here with me, and I look and they just took him. I collapsed. I felt that I couldn't go on anymore.
Her husband was eventually released, but now she's worried about what will happen to her when she shows up for her own immigration check-in next week.
You see, they weren't worried underneath the Biden administration because they knew the Biden administration wouldn't do this shit. And yet, they galvanized to vote against the Biden administration. There's more. I don't know where this took place, but if you know, put it down in the comments.
¿Quisieras decir algo?
Son unas mierdas, pinche gobierno, no van a chingar a su madre.
Vamos a ir a...
I feel sorry for the child. The trauma that she is experiencing in that moment will be life-changing. It will be life-changing. She will need therapy to work through the emotions. If not, it could totally devastate her life for the rest of her life. And now that Donald Trump supporters, Donald Trump voters, those who supported the Republican Party, now that they are seeing the consequences of their actions, now they want to say they didn't vote for this. They didn't vote for this. Now that loved ones within their own communities are being affected by Donald Trump's immigration policies, they want to actually tell us to our faces that they didn't vote for this. All of y'all could kiss my ass. Y'all absolutely voted for this. Donald Trump told you what he was going to do. I saw it every time he was out there on the campaign trail. At every stop, Donald Trump told you what he was going to do.
Given the unprecedented millions of Biden illegal aliens who are invading our country, it is only common sense that when I'm reelected, we will begin, and we have no choice, the largest deportation operation in American history. And we're going to have the largest deportation in the history of our country, and we're going to start with Springfield and Aurora. On my first day back in the Oval Office, I will sign a historic slate of executive orders to close our border to illegal aliens and stop the invasion of our country. And on that same day, We will begin the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower. That has no clue how to solve this influx of crime into his state. And by the way, Colorado's one state. It's much worse in other states. But in Colorado, they've taken over. I mean, in Colorado, they're so brazen, they're taking over sections of the state. And, you know, getting them out will be a bloody story. They should have never been allowed to come into our country. Nobody checked them. Nobody checked. Were they criminals? Were they from jails? We have them pouring out from jails. We have the worst.
He said it over and over and over and over and over and over again. He said it will be the largest mass deportation in the history of this country and that it will be bloody. That's what he said over and over and over again. So when these people try to absolve themselves from feeling guilty about what is taking place so that you won't further hold them accountable, so you won't be looking at them in judgment by saying to us, trying to play in our faces that they didn't vote for this. They absolutely voted for this. And to those of you that like to get down in my comment section and say Kamala Harris wouldn't have been any better, you can kiss my ass. I don't even give you the air when I come across your comments. I immediately block you because Kamala would not have done this. Kamala would not have shut down Job Corps and put 40,000 students out there in the streets, cut them short of obtaining their educational and vocational goals. She wouldn't have done that. She wouldn't have stood by and watched Republicans cut Medicaid and Medicare. She wouldn't have stood by and watched Republicans cut out health care for 13 million Americans. She wouldn't have put into place programs that would hurt small businesses like these tariff policies that Donald Trump is implementing. She wouldn't have done that. In fact, she had policies that she wanted to put in place to help small business owners, grants of up to $50,000. She wanted to help young people buy their first homes by providing them with first-time home buyer grant money. She wouldn't have put out a video talking about turning Gaza into Trump Gaza. She wouldn't be meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu to talk about moving out Palestinians from their land. She wouldn't have allowed Elon Musk to raid our agencies, to fire hardworking American citizens. She wouldn't have allowed that to happen. She would have built upon the system that we currently have. She would have worked to make sure that these systems, all of us were able to benefit from these systems. That's what Kamala Harris would have done. Would she have been perfect? Absolutely not. She would not have been perfect. Was she open to listening to the American citizen, to the hard-working taxpayers in this country? Absolutely she was. Was she committed to the American taxpayer, to making life better for the American taxpayer? Absolutely she was. So when you get down in my comment section and you say that both parties are the same, it's an immediate block. When you get down into my comment section and say Kamala Harris wouldn't have been any better, it's an immediate block. You are not worth the energy to try to have a conversation with. You're not worth me being condescending to you. You're not worth my time. The only thing you are worth is an immediate block from my space. And that's on period. None of this had to happen. I repeatedly told you, be smart in your decision making because elections have consequences. Well, here we are. We are here dealing with the consequences of those who elected Donald Trump.